Hi, and welcome back to Wing It, where I try to make up some food recipes on the go. Today is a recipe that I kind of made before, but today I'm going to be putting a spin on it based off of information I learned when I made the lobster bisque, which is going to be making a keto butter chicken curry. Now, before when I've done this, I've used the almond milk that I have for the cream base for the butter chicken, but never really tasted good. It put too much of an almond flavor into the meal for me. So instead of doing that, I'm going to be using cauliflower cream. So it's going to be cauliflower rice, cauliflower cream in the buttered chicken with regular curry spices. And instead of tomatoes, I'm going to be using Frank's Red Hot sauce to add that a little bit of color and a little bit of an extra kick because I can't eat tomatoes. Um, so to begin, let's start with the cauliflower. Now, I'm going to be using about 2 cups of cauliflower with about a cup and a half going into the rice and half a cup going into the cauliflower cream. So I got my head here and I'm going to tear it apart, taking about half of this head and going to, a little more than that. That should do it. And look at that. We have it's going to be our rice, this big block. This will be our cream. We're going to get started on this before we do anything else. We're going to start on the cauliflower cream before we do anything else because that has to go in with the chicken when it's ready to go. And that can sit around and wait. And the rice we'll put in right after that so that it has time to cook, but also it can wait in the warming feature of the Instant Pot while the chicken cooks. So, basic thing with so like you're going to make a cauliflower mashed potato. We take a Instapot pot. We'll put in one of these steaming baskets. And we'll take our cauliflower and put that in there. And I'm going to put a little garlic in too, because I always put garlic in things like this. Take the garlic. I'll put in 4 pieces here. Actually, it's an Indian dish, so I'm going to put in a little extra garlic. Put in another 3 cloves. Now I'm just going to take this, fill it with a little bit of water so that it has enough water to steam and reach pressure. Let me just double check that. Yeah, that looks like it's good, about enough. So I'm going to take this over to the Instant Pot. Turn off that light so you can see me better. Got to put this in the Instant Pot. Close it up. Then we're going to set it for pressure cook for 5 minutes. I like to do cauliflower mash for 5 minutes so that it gets really soft. And when I do the cauliflower rice, you'll see I'll put it in for 2 minutes so that there's still a little body to it versus the 5 minutes. Oops. Anyway, so now that that's going, let's get started on just ricing this cauliflower so it's ready to go. When that's complete, just take this. This is a food processor. We take our big headed cauliflower, break it up a bit so that it's easier to get grinded up. Put that all in there. Close it up. And then we bring it over to my blender. You're going to be seeing a lot of this blender, so get used to the lot of noise. Yep, that should be good. Whenever you're making cauliflower rice, you want it to be basically rice size. So you can see that. It's good. A little bit bigger than a regular piece of rice, but you don't want to grind it too bad because then you get a chance of accidentally making mashed potato. So I'll just set this aside till we need it. and clean off this cutting board of all these pieces of cauliflower. These are mine. And now let's get started on the chicken. I'm gonna, as always, you gotta dry off your meat once you get out of the bag or wherever you're storing it in. You don't want to use wet meat with your seasonings because they may fall off. So I'm using chicken tenderloins here, and I actually saw a technique online for actually removing the tendon from the tenderloin that I'm going to try out right now. See if that works, because whenever I cut a tenderloin, I always lose so much meat. And I do not like that tender. That tender has never been good. The tendon. It's not good. I hate it. It's one of those things that if it's in it, it throws me off the chicken and I cannot eat it. So this is a technique I just saw on YouTube. What we do is we take a fork, we find the tendon here, we wrap the fork around the tendon. Let me move my hand. So you can see right there the tendons between the twines of the fork. Oh, and then, yeah, we also need a paper towel so that you can grab that tendon and pull. And that should just come right off. Not as much meat that I usually lose. It's nice. It actually works really well. All right. I'm going to do that for every tendon. Put it between the fork, grab it, and pull. Wow, that's crazy. I wish I knew about this all my life. Yeah, I was getting sick of my losing so much meat on my tenderloins. Nice. And the final one. Oops. Come on. You gotta be difficult, don't you? You're not beating me though. I am the master. God, that's an awesome little hack. Just saved me about 10 minutes of cutting. Not 10 minutes. I don't know how time. Alright. Now I'm going to put this chicken back on the paper towel so that I can season it and get rid of the excess season easily. While doing that, I'm going to preheat my pan over here using only a little bit of olive oil because we're going to be putting a lot of butter in this. That should be good. You always want to oil your pan when you're cooking meat. Best way to brown it. And now let's get to seasoning. Oh, before I forget, I actually need to cut these into some bite-sized pieces if we're doing buttered chicken. There we go. Just little bite-sized pieces. That's all you need. Something that you can stick on a fork, stick in your mouth. There we go. And final piece. All right. Now I got my chicken here. Sounds like the Instant Pot's almost ready to pressurize. And salt. Generous heaping of salt. Not as much as you would do a steak, but still want a lot of salt on all meats. Pepper. And of course, it wouldn't be buttered chicken curry without some curry powder. And you want to be very generous with your curry powder, because this is going to actually help flavor the cream once that gets in there. Though I will put a little extra curry powder into the cream when I'm making it. All right, now we just take this, we move it around, get everyone situated so that all the spices are on all the pieces of chickens on all the sides. Just play with your food a bit. Food likes a little full of play. All right. Gotta switch over to the phone camera, and we'll head over to the pan to start cooking the chicken. Uh, yep. Instant Pot just pressurized droid cam. Droid cam only. All right. So we got a chicken here. I'll pick it up using paper towel, which is nice. Bring it over here. Place it down. Oops, sorry about that. I want to make sure that this oil is nice and hot. Nice hot oil should be able to move around the pan like that, like it's water. When it's too cold, it will want to stay in one spot. All right, let's get this chicken on here. So we want to fully cook the chicken through in this step right here. I forgot to put on this. I forgot to put on a little garlic powder. So I'm going to grab some of that. There we are. A little garlic powder goes onto the chicken. That'll help with the flavor. Move it around. Make sure everyone gets a little garlic powder. And we can leave this here for a minute. All right, while that's going on, let's get ready the other ingredients we need for the sauce. So while waiting on that cauliflower to finish in 4 minutes, we're going to be taking this blender cup. We're going to be adding some bone broth, chicken bone broth. Oops. Needs a little bit of a shake. There we go. That should be enough, I think. We'll see. This is all an experiment right now. And some Frank's Red Hot. That should help give that color that we want and a little bit extra spice. That's why I didn't put any what's called cayenne pepper in it. A little more. I like my Franks. All right, so this should be ready for when the cauliflower is done in 3 minutes. I'm gonna actually add a little more curry powder to that and a little salt. All right, gonna now just move around the chicken. We're just trying to get it cooked on all sides, all white on all sides. I got this chicken cooking at medium high, by the way. Forgot to mention that to you. Yeah. So that's got 2 minutes left. I'm going to be grabbing a lid for this pan. Because once we get the cream and stuff in there, we're going to want to put the lid on to let everything simmer down. So that reminds me, I actually want to put a little water in here so that it's something to cook off that besides the chicken broth. Start cleaning up while you got time. So I'm going to take all these scrap chicken bits, throw them away. I actually need to clean off this surface right here because I put some chicken on it. So grab a paper towel, a little water, a little soap, and just give it a nice wash. It's always good to do this while you're cooking. It means you make a lot less of a mess. And you don't become overwhelmed and leave stuff just everywhere, as I tend to do when I'm not doing a cooking show. But I want to set a good example. All right, that's nice and clean. I'll check on the chicken. That's the cauliflower. Forgot to switch cameras over. Perfect timing on that because this chicken's ready for the sauce. So I'm going to turn this down to a medium-low sort of situation. Because the sauce I want to simmer the sauce. I don't want to cook the sauce, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, I want it to go low and slow. Alright, I'm going to go get the cauliflower now. Follow me over to the Instant Pot. Release steam. Very excited for this. I really do hope and pray this works the way I'm thinking it will. Alright, we got our cauliflower, we got our garlic. Let's put these in the little blender. Alright. There, we got our cauliflower. We got our sauce. Just gonna pick these up, put them in. Make sure you get all that garlic in there. Your garlic's good. You love garlic. I smell Frank's. Alright. Now I'm gonna blend this in the Ninja. Sorry for the loud noise. I'm going to taste this before I put it in to make sure all the spices are where they're supposed to be. If it's too Franky, I'll probably put in some more chicken stock. Or actually probably more curry powder. Yeah, it's a little too Franky. A little more curry powder. We don't want the Frank's Red to overpower the sauce. We mostly want it for the color and the spice, to like a spice at the end sort of situation. Right now it's a spice at the beginning, it's a spice in the middle, spice in the side, spice in the footnote. Alright. Let's try that. Much better. Much better. Now it's beginning to taste like curry, not just Frank's. Alright. Now, we're going to want 2 tablespoons of butter, which this is just about. So I'm going to take this, We're going to melt that in the pan, then we're going to add this to the melted butter. So let me switch cameras. Back to food cam. Butter goes in, and we're going to help it along with the melt by grabbing a fork. Not the fork we used on the raw chicken, obviously. We're not monsters here. There we go. And we want to use the butter to help get up all the fond that ended up at the bottom of the pan. Fond is basically the cooked bits of meat and spice that fall off the chicken while it's frying in a pan. Yeah. Obviously, the butter and butter chicken is very important. It'd be nice if I can have some naan with this, but that's never happening on this diet. All right. Butter's melting. Grabbing the sauce. Sauce goes in. Looks like a bit too much sauce, so I'm going to pour some of that out actually. Let me just grab a big old ladle. Scoop some of this out and into the sink. Actually put it into the can in case it is not too much. Alright, that should be good. Put that down. Now we're gonna mix this all together. Make sure the butter gets incorporated with the rest of the curry. Give it a taste of seasoning. It's nice because it doesn't have the almond milk flavor that usually accompanies whenever I make a curry in my diet. Actually think just another dash of salt. Alright, drop the heat a little bit. So I'm close to the medium that I'm low now. And I'm gonna cover this and let this steam for a bit. Come back over here. And while that's cooking, we'll cook the cauliflower rice. Don't need this anymore. So I'm gonna go grab the pan from the Instapot again. Gonna empty out the excess water that's in here. Give it a nice little rinse. Don't really need any more than a little rinse with this, just because all I had was water and cauliflower in it. Not really the dirtiest product in the world. All right. Now to make the cauliflower rice, what I like to do is I'll take the cauliflower and I pour it directly into the pot. Put that all in there. And then I want just a splash of water. Nothing really more than that. Nothing more than that sort of situation. Well, that sort of situation. Because there's a lot of water in the cauliflower itself, and we want some of that to actually come out during the steaming process. And a little bit of white wine vinegar actually helps increase the flavor. Just like a little dash of it. Makes you go, ooh. Alright. A little salt. A little pepper. And just give it a stir. Make sure all the spices are incorporated in the vinegar and water as well. Yeah. You want a little bit of water in there because there's not enough in this much cauliflower rice to actually steam up the pot, and you'll end up just burning it while it tries to release more moisture and come to pressure. All right. We're putting it back in the Instapot. Pressure cook for 2 minutes. Come back over here. Let's check on that chicken. Nothing really to report. It's still reducing a bit. I'll report a little more after. Give this a little stir though. Mmm. That's gonna be so good. Yeah. We don't need this anymore. This can go in the sink. Garlic back down. Alright. While that's going on, I'm gonna clean up more. Gotta clean out this food processor. And get it ready for another day because I use these things a lot, so I can't just use it once and throw it in the dishwasher because I'll probably be using this either tomorrow, the next day, the day after. Who knows? And the lid. Let that dry right there. Let me check on the chicken. Ah, now this is what we're looking for. Let me switch cameras. Whoops, forgot to open the camera. Oh no, dead air. We're back. Alright. So you see the chicken here? See how the sauce has become nice and saucy. You can coat the back of the spoon and the fork with it. It's a nice little mix. We'll turn this off. Cover it back up and let it stay there to warm till the rice is done. Back to me. Alright. Got a little more cleanup to do. We got the butter. We got a few extra paper towels. Spoon. Put that all in there. Put that in there. And I'm going to grab a bowl to prepare for plating. Now it's just a waiting game. Sounds like Instapot's beginning to come up. You stop. Put some stuff away. Don't need this anymore. Don't need these. Actually, I still need the oven mitt. Don't need this anymore. Wipe down the counter a bit because a little bit of curry got on here. All right. So while we wait, I'm gonna have a glass of water. It's always good to drink your water. Anything to talk about while we wait? we're about to come up to pressure, so we got about 2 or 3 minutes left. Yeah, so most of the time, so if you're not on a diet like me where I can't have tomatoes and I can't have much things like cream and stuff like that, and then I would suggest using heavy cream and tomatoes instead of the Frank's Hot and the cauliflower. Though, if you wanted to be lower in calories, I'd actually suggest removing the heavy cream for cauliflower and doing the blend technique. And then also, if you're not gonna have Frank's Red Hot in it, I do suggest putting cayenne pepper if you like your curry spicier. But the butter's a must. It's not butter chicken without butter. Other than that, it would just be curry. Just meh, fun, but not as fun as butter chicken. There's butter in it. Butter's awesome. And if you're on keto anyways, you're looking for those fats anyway. So it's a good idea to do that. All right, 2 minutes. At some point, I'm gonna be doing a sous vide recipe that I will probably have to start the day before or a few hours before, and then I'll just do it like I did with the poutine recipe, where I'll pre-film myself ahead for that, and then put that at the beginning of the video while I go do whatever I want while it's playing. Uh, So while that goes on, I'm gonna actually stir the curry one more time, just make sure everything gets coated in what is left of the sauce, which has been reduced down to exactly what I wanted, just enough for it to go over the rice, go over the bowl. I'm glad that I removed that excess. That was the problem with yesterday's poutine is I forgot to remove the excess. No, yesterday was not the poutine. No, it was the poutine. I forgot to remove the excess sauce when I screwed up the beginning of the recipe. Our rice is done, so let's get to plating. Moving this over. Cancel you. Open it up. Now you'll see why I go through almost 2 heads of cauliflower a week, because basically every meal I've done so far on this channel has basically been cauliflower in it. It is just a wonder vegetable. Perfect. Smells good. Turn you over. To give this a little fluff. Ah, perfect. Moves it just right amount of water so it's got a nice bite to it, but it's not crunchy and it's not mushy. And you get some fancier bowls. So I'm going to start plating these things and picturing them so that once this is on YouTube, it actually has a proper cover instead of what I've been doing, which is just, oh, what scene did YouTube want me to show? Okay, I'll do that one. That's the thing everyone wants to watch, just random picture in the middle of the video. So make this look nice. I'm basically taking the rice and I'm making a little mound so when the chicken goes over, it kind of spreads out across a bit. Now we'll get the chicken. I'm just gonna pour this right on top. Chicken comes out first. Careful, careful, careful. Make sure you get everything. And give it a little scrape. You want those brown bits because that's good flavor. Down. Move this back a bit, so gotta take a nice picture of this. Hashtag Instagram style. Phone comes out. Move you back. You're not allowed in the picture. Food's the star of the show. Get a nice, good angle on it. Ooh, that's a pretty picture. That's a little too bright on the sides. Let's try this again. Is there any way I can increase the size of the area of focus? There we go. That's better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That looks like an appetizer meal in that picture. Yeah. Let's give it a try. Mmm. Chicken slice sauce because I was doing in that cauliflower. It tastes like buttered chicken. It tastes just like buttered chicken. Telling you, cauliflower cream. That is the future. That is the future of recipes. It's so simple, so good for you, and it's such a great substitute for anything with cream in it. So anyone who's non-dairy, that's a big thing. You want to finally have your creamy soups, cauliflower, cauliflower sauce. All right, thank you for watching. That's going to be it from me today. So I'll just say, what do I say? What should I say? What should be my stinger? I like